Okay, so in this video, we're actually going to take a look at second partials. And there are four of them: xx, xy, yx, and yy. Now, we do have a theorem that's, I believe, called Clairaut's theorem. And it says that under certain conditions, which is normally will be satisfied for you guys, so something like where the functions are continuous and differentiable, these mixed partials, the x, y, and yx, should actually give you the same answer. So whether you're doing x first and then y, or y first and then x, the two what's called mixed partials should be the same. But I always recommend doing both and just checking out your answer, because they should give you the same answer. So let's see. But first thing first, in order to find the second partials, you actually have to find the first partials, right? So let's do that. So let's take the partial with respect to x first. This is where we treat the y variable as a number. Now, this is a sign of a thing. So derivative of sign of a thing is cosine of the same thing. Okay, so that doesn't change. This is called chain rule. Sine of a thing is cosine of a thing, the same thing, multiplied by the derivative of the thing, this time with respect to x, right? Because we're taking the derivative with respect to x. Now, what about cosine? Well, that actually is going to be a minus, because derivative of cosine is negative sine of the same thing multiplied by the derivative of that thing with respect to x. Okay, so let's see what we get. So what is the derivative of 2x minus 5y with respect to x? So remember, the terms that don't have an x will drop out. So 5y will disappear. Derivative of 2x is 2. So that's just going to become 2 cosine 2x minus 5y. And then the other one, 4x plus 9y with respect to x, will just give us 4. So we're going to put 4 to the front. And of course, the 9y will disappear and become a 0. Okay, so we found the first partial. This is fx. Now, that's going to allow you to find these first two second partials. So let's do xx and let's do xy. So what do they mean? They mean that you take the derivative with respect to x first, and then take the derivative with respect to x one more time. Okay, so derivative of cosine is negative sine. So this is going to be negative 2 sine 2x minus 5y. So derivative of a thing is, well, negative sine of the same thing multiplied by the derivative of that same thing with respect to x again, which is just going to be another 2, because 5y will disappear. Okay, what about this other term? Well, that one is going to be sine of a thing is cosine of the same thing, derivative, multiplied by the derivative of the thing, which is 4x plus 9y, with respect to x, which is going to give us another 4. Okay, so I already know that this one is going to be negative 4 sine 2x minus 5y minus 16 cosine 4x plus 9y. All right, now let's do the mixed partial, so xy. So we're taking fx, and then they taking the derivative of that with respect to y. So let's see what happens. Again, cosine of a thing is negative sine of the same thing, multiplied by the derivative of the thing, which is 2x minus 5y, with respect to y now, which is going to give you negative 5, right? Because 2x will drop out. Okay, sine of a thing is cosine of the same thing multiplied by the derivative of that thing with respect to y now, and that's going to be 9, right? Okay, so this will become 10 sine 2x minus 5y minus 36 cosine 4x plus 9y. All right, so I found the first two partials. Let's find fy now. Okay, so this one is the derivative with respect to y. Now, sine of a thing is cosine of the same thing. So we are coming back to the original function. Multiplied by the derivative of the thing with respect to y, which is going to be negative 5, right? Because 2x doesn't have a y. Cosine derivative is negative sine of the same thing multiplied by the derivative of the thing with respect to y, which is a 9. Okay, now let me show you, let me demonstrate that the mixed partials are actually the same. So if I were to do this one, which means take fy and take the derivative of that with respect to x, Well, derivative of cosine is negative sign, so that negative is going to disappear. So this is going to be sine 2x minus 5y multiplied by the derivative of the thing with respect to x, right? X, which is at 2. So this becomes 10. Okay, so this part right here, 10 sine 2x minus 5y. So far so good, because this have to match. Now let's look at this particular term. So that one is, we're taking the derivative, remember, with respect to y now. No, sorry, with respect to x. Okay, respect to x, just checking. Okay, I was just checking if to see if you are paying attention. So this is going to be cosine of the thing, all right? And multiply that by the derivative of the thing with respect to x. So that's a 4. So that, lucky for me, gives me negative 36 cosine 4x plus 9y. All right. And as promised, the mixed partials are the same. So for lazy people, you can just rewrite them because they must be the same. For not so lazy, check them out. Okay, so fyy means this is the last one. So I'm taking the derivative of this guy with respect to y again. Okay, so cosine of a thing is negative sine of the same thing. Negatives will cancel, so it'll become 5 sine 2x minus 5y. But I also need to multiply by the derivative of the thing with respect to y, which is negative 5. Okay, now let's look at the last term. That one is sine of a thing is cosine of the same thing multiplied by the derivative of the thing with respect to y, which is another 9. Okay, so that gives me, combining the numbers, negative 25 sine of the thing minus 81 cosine of another thing. Okay, I hope that that's right.